Hi everyone, I am well on my way on my candle journey, and I just wanted to share some information with you that I've learned along the way in the event that you're interested in making your own candles for your own personal use, or maybe you've already started making candles and you want other resources and information. So I just wanted to share with you my Amazon must-haves for my candle making business. So first off, I wanted to start with my wick trimmers. I especially like these trimmers because you're supposed to trim your wick to about 1/4 of an inch before you sell it or use it. That's usually the standard. And these wick trimmers happen to, let's see if I can get a good measurement there. They happen to measure approximately exactly 1/4 of an inch. So after I make a bulk of candles, it's so easy for me to go through and just trim that wick at the perfect height. Also, they're shaped at a nice 45-degree angle. So as you melt your candle and it goes further and further into the jar, they don't have a hard time going in that jar also and cutting your wick. I got these on Amazon for $6.49. A total must-have. Next, I have my wick stickers. This is what I use to stick the wick onto the bottom of the jar. And some people use glue guns and other adhesives, but I just personally, I think that's a lot of work and too messy. So I thought that I would just start with the wick stickers, and I always clean my jars before I put the wick at the bottom of the jar. I just use alcohol, I wipe it, I make sure there's no dust or debris, and so far I haven't had any troubles. I haven't had any wicks lift from the bottom of my candles yet. These I bought from Amazon. I got 1,080 of them for $14.99. Not a bad deal. My next item is my wick centering or wick holding device. I've got several different devices that I use depending on the diameter of the jar that I'm making my candles in. This was one of the first ones that I bought. I like them because it has 3 different holes here, 3 different options. And the middle one is usually the center of the jar. Or if you're choosing to double wick your candle, then you can use these 2 on the end. I also like these because it has a rigid staircase, and you can use these for different size jars. And it works well with most jars. I use them especially for my 9-ounce straight jar. These are perfect. And my wick doesn't move. They don't, I mean, I guess if you try hard enough they'll bend, but I never wanted to do that. So they're pretty sturdy, they're durable, so I think it was a good investment, and they'll probably last me quite a while. And I purchased these for, let's see, 20 of them for $6.75. I think that was a good deal, but since I'm starting to make more candles at a time, I think I might have to invest in more than just 20. Next, I have my digital scale. I know it's big, it's bulky. I have no idea what I was thinking when I bought this. Maybe I didn't know it was as big as it was when I was looking at it. No, I do know why I bought it big and bulky, because not only do I use it to weigh out my candle wax and my fragrance oil, but I'm using it also to weigh my packages for shipping. So I wanted a surface area that was big enough where I can set a box on top of that and weigh that for shipping. So that's why I did that. But I might be able to keep this as a shipping scale, but I think I might want to invest in a more accurate scale. This only reads to 1/10 of a decimal place, and I think I want 1 to the 100th, because with my fragrance oil, sometimes I measure very small quantities, and for me it's super important to be as accurate as I can when I'm doing that. So this I got from Amazon. This was $44.99. This next item here is going to be your best friend in candle making. This is my heat gun. seek one heat gun. It may take you a while before you find the wax that works for you. Me personally, after a couple of different trial and errors, I like the paraffin soy blend of IGI 6006. I think it's 70% paraffin, 30% soy. And I like it because it has a really, really smooth top and the hot throw is really great. The only thing with that wax is it develops sinkholes. So what it does is while it's curing or solidifying, hardening inside the jar, whichever term you prefer to use, the wax, it condenses and it pulls together, and it tends to separate away from the wick when it does that, and it creates a hole in the middle. So what I do is I get a skewer or a little chopstick and I poke holes in the candle, and I use that heat gun to season out the top. I clean out my pouring pots, I clean off my utensils, I clean everything with the heat gun. This is going to be your best friend, so I would definitely invest in one. They have smaller ones, and I've seen a lot of people use the really, really tiny ones that look like a little nail drill, but I'm hardcore, and I wanted to go with the big industrial one. I got this from Amazon for $22.74. Next, I have my digital laser thermometer. This is a lifesaver. So far, I've used several different types of thermometers to take temperature. One thing to note about this laser gun, or any of these types of laser guns, is they read the temperature of the surface. So if you're going to use this, it's super important to get an accurate reading. Make sure that you stir that wax. Stir it up really good, and then take that temperature. And this cost, how much was this? This was $24.56. This is a great investment. One of the must-haves in this candle making business is gloves. And I've got, there are 100 in each box, and they are only $10.80. And I like them because they're black. And my favorite color is black. That's why my branding is black. I just like black. Next, I've got UV inhibitor. Don't know if you can see that clearly. And what the UV inhibitor does is it prevents your candles from any discoloration. I've got 1 pound of UV inhibitor, and that costs $33.99. Again, it does cost a lot of money if you're not worried about your candles fading. If you're storing them in a nice, cool, shady area and you're just doing direct to consumer, you may not need them. But if you find yourself making candles in bulk and big batches and sending those to different wholesalers, then that might be something good to look into. Next, I found these plastic clamshell molds on Amazon, and I got, how much did I get this for? Oh, I got 100 of these for $15.99. And I'm going to be honest, I went to some of the wholesale candle suppliers and they were just super expensive. And I'm so glad that I actually checked on Amazon before I bought these, because they were almost half the price on Amazon. And this next product has been a complete lifesaver for me. I know, right? A lifesaver. This is a pouring cap. When you purchase your fragrance oils, I think Nature's Garden may come with their own fragrance with a regular pouring cap, but other places like maybe Lone Star Candle Supply, Virginia Candle Supply, I know Candle Science, they'll just come with a twist top, which is, I mean, perfectly fine for them. Oh, it smells good. But if you're making a test candle, or if you're testing a fragrance out on a wax melt, you tend to just, you're not going to use a lot of fragrance. And sometimes it can get hard to pour this directly into whatever container that you're weighing your wax. it can spill, it can drip. A lot of times it'll just run down the side of your bottle, and fragrance oil is not cheap. So that's why I was like, I've got to invest in something so I'm not spilling this. I got these caps, which were 48 caps for $13.98, and they are a lifesaver. I just take the twist cap off, I throw it away, and I place the pouring cap on there, and I don't spill anything. And I almost feel like this is a lifetime investment, because after I'm done using it on this fragrance, you could literally just clean it, wipe it with alcohol, rinse it really good, dry it, and reuse it on another fragrance oil. Next is my pistol funnel. I just recently bought this and I've only used it several times. I noticed some people use it when they're pouring candles or when they're pouring wax melts in these types of clamshells. Me personally, I don't use it for those because my hand is pretty steady enough where I don't worry about spilling the wax anywhere. But what I do use it for is for my my wax singles. I don't know if you've seen the video. I've got like this large turquoise wax mold, and it has about 54 little tiny circles to pour into. Now that is what I use this for. With this, it has a little handle. You just press it with your thumb, and if you look inside, it just lifts up enough for a little bit of wax to come out, and you can just go down the line. And this was on Amazon for $26.99. And last but not least, this is just for the candle making basics, is my soap cutter. And I use this for my wax cutter now. When I first started making soaps, this is what I used. And then I kind of stopped with soaps for a minute and started focusing on wax melts. And with the paraffin soy blend that I use, that wax comes in a big brick. And it's not hard where you could break it apart, but it's not really soft where you can just tear it apart. So that's when this soap cutter comes in handy. You can use a kitchen knife if you want, but it's not going to cut bigger pieces you need like this will. So when I decided to start recording these videos, I noticed that I would be recording in one area, and then I have to pick up my tripod and move it to the stove, and then I pick it up again and move it back to the counter, and that just kind of got old and daunting. So I went on Amazon and I found what they call an auto face tracking tripod. I don't know why they call it a tripod, because it's not a tripod. I would call it more of a mount. If you're moving around in a room, this is going to follow you, and it goes around 360 degrees and more. So I love this when I'm recording and I'm walking around in one area. Another item that you can't see, but I'm going to post it on the screen because I'm using it right now, is going to be my phone holder mount. And I like this because it has a long stick and you can bend it. And I like to mount it onto the table or countertop that I'm working on. I like working in my kitchen, so it's usually on the island, so it doesn't shake or it doesn't move. But basically, I can give you guys a more aerial view with me making my products and pouring the products, so you can see it from the top and not a side angle. So you're able to see it from the same angle that I'm seeing it. And last but not least, I wanted to go over some shipping items that I purchased from Amazon. I just got something that would fit my 9-ounce and my 7-ounce jars in the meantime for shipping. But these white boxes come from Amazon. I got 3 different sizes. The first size I got was a 6x4x4. And you can see I kind of wrote on the side, I got my little cheat sheet that this one's going to fit 2 9-ounce jars. The 6x4x4, I got 25 of these for $21.99. Maybe I was in a rush when I purchased that, but that does seem a little bit steep. So I think I'll probably go ahead and revisit Amazon or maybe even Uline and see if I can find a box with around the same dimensions. The other size that I got is 5.5 by 3.5 by 3.5. And that one can either fit one 9-ounce jar or else one 16-ounce jar. I think this one was a little bit cheaper. This one was 50 boxes for $38.07. A little bit cheaper, but I think I'm still gonna do a little bit more research. Maybe check out Uline. And the last box that I got, and remember, this is just to hold my candles. This one is a 6 3/4 by 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. It can fit two 9-ounce jars or one 16-ounce jar. This one was 50 for $18.36. That's a much better price. And next I have my Rollo printer. This is what I use to print my shipping labels. This Rollo printer was $200, $199.99. And this one it's hardwired into your laptop or computer. They also have one that is Bluetooth or wireless. I'll invest probably in a Bluetooth printer later on. It's not a big deal right now. And last but not least is my 4x6 shipping labels that come with Rollo. These are thermal printing labels. So this pack was what, 500 labels for $18.99. Really good price. So you can get a holder or you could just keep it in the box and it feeds straight through. I don't need the holder. I just use the box. So I hope I was able to share some information with you that you may find useful. If you see something that I mentioned, like my shipping boxes that I could have probably gotten for cheaper through another vendor or maybe some other options, just link it below. I would love to hear some of the things that you've all learned throughout this candle making process. If you have any questions, just feel free to put it below and I will respond the best that I can. Thank you. Until next time. Bye, guys. Oh, damn, I gotta start over because I didn't say the prices for any of these things.
You still recording?
I forgot to do my teas. My teas.
What's your tea?
Kind of like
I got all these.
Oh, shit!
the thing before the introduction.
The teas?
She
Yeah.
has only said it to other people. I hope she hear this.
I'm not recording. Oh, shit, I am recording.
Oh, you made a burrito me. Oh, that's what me in the burrito. What's your cat do? Okay, bro. Oh, you can't grab them. She does a hell of a job making candles. You should buy them. Like and subscribe.
Somebody save me.